You can get the cards you need for today's Budget Magic deck and support the show from this episode's sponsor, Card Kingdom. Just follow the link in the description box down below.
Hello everyone, it's Seth, probably better known as Saffron Olive, and it's time for another edition of Budget Magic. So this week, we are heading back to Dominaria Standard for a deck that's doing one of my favorite things in all of Magic, and that is blowing up opponents' lands. So this deck is called Haphazard Bombardment, and while I put my twist on it to some extent, gotta give a shout out to Zac Elsik for the original list, original idea. I did some budget changes to it, switched up a few things to my liking, but credit to him for coming up with the initial idea. The plan of the deck, though, is pretty simple. While we are a ramp deck looking to ramp into big things, the big things we're ramping into are mostly land destruction spells, with Haphazard Bombardment being kind of the key land destruction spell in our deck. So not only are we getting tons of lands and taking advantage of them by casting really massive stuff, but our opponent is losing lands on a consistent basis until they might actually have 0 lands left. It is possible to get a flawless victory with the deck. So that's the plan of the deck. Anyway, before we break it down, a super quick reminder: if you enjoy this deck and you enjoy Budget Magic in general, it would be amazing of you if you could take a second, click that subscribe button down at the bottom of your screen. It's a great way to support the channel and the site for free. So let's talk Haphazard Ramp for Dominaria Standard, starting with the namesake, Haphazard Bombardment. So Haphazard Bombardment is a really weird card. It looks super random. When it enters the battlefield, you choose 4 non-enchantment permanents you don't control, put an aim counter on them, and then at the end of your turn, you get to blow up one of those permanents as long as there's at least 2. You don't get to blow up the last one. So basically, think of Haphazard Bombardment like this. We put 4 counters on something, and over the next 3 turns, our opponent is going to lose one of those somethings. So the thing with Haphazard Bombardment is it feels really random. I mean, it says random right on the card. However, in our deck, we're looking to break the randomness of this card because our primary plan isn't to go like, okay, we'll take your Planeswalker, your creature, your random whatever, another creature, and maybe we get something good, maybe we get something bad. What we're trying to do with Haphazard Bombardment is play it, and most of the time, we're putting counters on 4 different lands of our opponent. So that means we know every single turn, at the end of our turn, we're blowing up one of our opponent's land for 3 turns in a row, which makes Haphazard Bombardment into a really slow triple stone rain for 6 mana, which is actually a pretty good deal. So sure, there are times where we have to name a Karn or name a Teferi or something, put a counter on one of those, but most of the time the goal is to treat Haphazard Bombardment as this weird blow up 3 land spells over the course of 3 turns. So that's plan number 1. The problem with Haphazard Bombardment, though, is we will run out of counters on our things, so we stop blowing things up, but we have a solution for that as well. We have Consigned to Oblivion. So the idea of Consigned to Oblivion is we can use it like a bounce spell if we want to, just pick up a Planeswalker of our opponents, bounce a creature that's attacking us, but the main goal is to use it to pick up our own Haphazard Bombardment. So we bounce Bombardment back to our hand, then we get to replay it, put counters on 4 more lands, and start the process of blowing up our opponent's stuff again. For the next 4 turns this time, because there'll be 1 aim counter left over from before, we get to blow up a land, blow up a land, blow up a land. So every single turn our opponent is losing a land. If we run out of counters, we can do it again. We can also have 2 Haphazard Bombardments, so we're blowing up 2 lands a turn. Basically, with all this rambling, the idea is we're going to blow up a lot of lands with Haphazard Bombardment, but the fun doesn't even stop there. We also have 2 Star of Extinctions and 4 Memorial of Wars, the bad Memorial, to give us even more land destruction. So Star of Extinction, basically a hard wrath for creatures and planeswalkers, which is great. We're often 2 or 3 for winning our opponent, plus we get to blow up a land along the way. So we're putting our opponent down another land, probably one without an aim counter. And then Memorial of War, we have a lot of ramp, including Hour of Promise that can tutor out non-basic lands, so just gives us another land destruction spell. And notice it doesn't say non-basic land or anything like that. It's just blow up a land for 5 mana plus tapping it and sacking it. So this lets us pick off lands that happen to survive Haphazard Bombardment. So that's kind of plan 1 of the deck. Blow up lots of stuff. Then we have our ramp package, which is important because it that helps us get to our Haphazard Bombardment, get to our Star of Extinctions, all our expensive stuff. So Thematic Compass kind of just smooths out our mana in the early game. If we don't have anything going on, we can just tutor up a land, make sure we're hitting our land drops, and then eventually flips around into Spires, which gives us a Mathevith, protecting ourselves from our opponent's creatures. Works like ramp because we can tap the land for mana. As far as the rest of the ramp, Gift of Paradise is important for fixing our mana. You probably noticed, like with Consigned to Oblivion, we need that black mana. We don't have any black lands in our deck, so Gift of Paradise lets us cast some of the spells from our graveyard that we can't otherwise cast. Spring just tutors up a land and then draws us a card eventually. Our Promise, super key because it makes zombies for chump blocking. It can tutor up our Memorials to War. So once we have enough deserts that we're getting the zombies, we're often just going Memorial, so we can spend the next 2 turns spending all of our mana to blow up 2 more of our opponent's lands. So just a really key ramp card for our deck. Then we have our finishers. So our primary finisher is Sifter Wurm. So Sifter Wurm, we played this one in one deck before. It is actually really good. 7 mana, 7/7, has trample, so it wins even through blockers. And then when it enters the battlefield, we get to scry 3 and then gain life equal to the top card of our library. So one way we can win the game is just playing Sifter Wurms, attacking with Sifter Wurms, after blowing up all of our opponent's lands so it's hard for them to interact with our Sifter Wurm, and winning with damage. Plus, Sifter Wurm is a great stabilization card, gaining us huge chunks of life. And one of the tricks to Sifter Wurm, we already talked about Consigned to Oblivion, but we have a lot of cards that are more expensive than they look because of how these split cards, like Cut to Ribbon, Struggle to Survive work. We actually get to gain life equal to their combined converted mana cost. So if we have something like Spring to Mind, which is 3 on the front half, 6 on the back half, we're gaining 9 mana with Sifter Wurm, plus we can always just cast it for 3 mana and get a land. Same with Cut to Ribbon, gains us 4 life. Struggle to Survive gains us 5 life. So we have a lot of cards that are expensive as far as Sifter Wurm is concerned, but not that expensive when it comes to actually casting them. The other way we win the game is Cut to Ribbon. So Cut to Ribbon's early game, kill a creature. Late game, we do all this ramping. We have tons of lands. We use our Gift of Paradise to make double black mana and just drain our opponent for 10. Next turn, drain our opponent for 10 with another one. So that's kind of our backup win condition. Our Devastation, another Planeswalker sweeper, similar to Star of Extinction without the land destruction. Struggle, just a removal spell with some Graveyard Hate attached. And that is the main creature base of the deck. As far as the mana base and the lands we're tutoring up, we already talked about all the Memorials to War, so we won't go over those again. Our Desert package is 4 Oasises, 3 Ipnu Rivulets, 1 Scavenger Ground. So Ipnu Rivulet is like our third way of winning the game. Sometimes we just tutor up a bunch of lands, we sweep the board a bunch of times, we blow up a bunch of our opponent's stuff so they can't do anything, and then eventually we just sack all of our deserts to Rivulet, mill like 20, 30 cards over the course of a few turns, and kill our opponent by them drawing out an empty library. Scavenger Ground for Graveyard Hate. Arch of Araska, great with Our Promise because we can tutor up, get the zombies, turn on City's Blessing right away, start drawing extra cards with all of our mana to find more land destruction and haphazard bombardments. A few dual lands, not a whole lot because we want to be able to tutor out basics with stuff like Spring to Mind, a bunch of basic lands. As far as the sideboard, our aggro package, we have Shivan Fire, Abrade, and Ether Meltdown, just ways to kill creatures in the early game. For control, we have 1 copy of Carnage Tyrant. It is the most expensive card in our deck. If you're looking to ultra budget Haphazard Ramp, you can use Nezahal in its place, although Carnage Tyrant is better. The trample that can't be countered is a great way to close out game. Normally opponents take out their sweepers and their settle the wreckages after game 1 when they see we don't have any creatures in our deck, and then we can just play Carnage Tyrant and sort of get our opponent, especially if they're playing a control deck. Negate, Unwind, Commit to Memory as counter spells, 1 copy of Sandworm Convergence as a way to shut down flyers, and also a backup win condition. Just sits out, makes worm tokens every turn until our opponent dies. And that is Haphazard Ramp for Standard, and that's our budget Magic deck for this week. So if you like blowing up opponents' lands and making your opponents miserable, you're really gonna like this deck. I know on paper it looks a little bit janky, it looks a little scattered, a little weird, tons of the Aftermath cards and just weird expensive stuff, Haphazard Bombardment, but once you see it in action, it is surprisingly effective and surprisingly good. So I think you're gonna be pleasantly surprised, maybe even pleasantly shocked by how good Haphazard Ramp actually works. So anyway, I'm going to stop rambling. Let's get to the gameplay and blow up some lands. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed the video, and I will talk to you soon. Alright, budget Magic time. Playing some Haphazard Ramp. Land Destruction Ramp, I guess, in Standard.
Fetid pools, eh? This hand's fine. Ooh, I do like Thematic Compass quite a bit. Our main problem was not having any ramp, and Thematic Compass theoretically solves that main problem. Ooh, Seeker Squire. Archfiend of Ifnir. Milled. Interesting. Well, let's play Oasis. Play Thematic Compass. Pass the turn. So this is probably a Scarab God deck, would be my guess. Island for our opponent. Cycles. What is happening? What is happening to us? Cycles. Is this a blue-black Drake? Oh my god, triple Riverwinder. Okay. Opponent gets in for 2 and passes. Well, play Rivulet, and we're just going to paint ourselves to Spring for a forest? Yeah, let's take a forest. Pass the turn. Land for our opponent. Champion. Maybe this is a God Pharaoh's Gift deck, actually. Gonna want our Scavenger Grounds. I guess we can struggle and then shuffle things back in with Survive. That might actually be a better plan. Vile Manifestation. Jeez. Okay. Opponent gets in for 2. Down to 15. Well, play Memorial. Alright, pass the turn. Hope that nothing goes horribly wrong. Untap land would have been pretty sweet here. They have enough creatures that they can just God Pharaoh's Gift here if they have Gate to the Afterlife. Swamp. And they do have it. Good God. Yup. Well, this went pretty bad. I wonder if the deck is really as good as it looked right there, because that was a pretty insane start. Vile Manifestation. Well, we need to kill Vile Manifestation. Opponent gets in, hits us down to 11. Hour of Promise. I mean, I guess we have to Hour of Promise. Get Scavenger Grounds and also Arch of Araska. Get some zombies. Flip Thematic Compass. We might just be dead here, though, to this Archfiend of Ifnir. Liliana, Death's Majesty. Makes a zombie. Mills. Opponent gets something back for free. Champion Awaits, draws and discards. Oh, dear. Oh, dear. I think we need a land. I think that's our big draw. Opponent goes attacking. Block, take. Yeah, block, untap Seeker Squire. If we draw land, we can Starve Extinction, sweep the board, and also shuffle graveyards back in. And then we might kind of have a chance. Opponent passes. Spring. Alright. Hour of Promise. Get Memorial to War. Make some zombies. Shuffle graveyards in. Pass the turn. We're trying hard. I don't know if this is going to end with us winning. Ah! Champion of Wits off Liliana. No way. Oh, my goodness. Oh, and a Curator of Mystery. Oh, my God. It keeps getting worse and worse and worse. Now I do not like where we're at, even a little. Rivulet. This God Pharaoh's Gift is brutal. Cycles. Also cycles. Goes to combat. Gets back something for free. Deck is pretty good at filling its graveyard, I will say. Champion Awaits, draws and discards. Ugh. Things might be slipping away. Another Champion Awaits. They just keep coming. Opponent attacks with everything. So, block here. Untap a Champion Awaits. If our opponent also has a counter, then I think we're just straight up dead. Opponent passes. So let's Starve Extinction. Blow up Fetid Pools. Cycles. Pass the turn. Opponent. Land. Maybe they just get back Champion Awaits. Either that or they pass and then try to mill themselves with Rivulet to hit something. Alright, opponent just gets back Champion. That's fine. So now they draw and discard. Then we nuke the graveyard. Then we continue on. Will we actually be able to piece together the win from here? That I'm not sure. So opponent goes to combat. Now we Scavenger Grounds, sacrifice. Ugh. I guess it's got to be Rivulet, unfortunately. Exile graveyards. Opponent passes. Discards to hand size. More champions. So let's kill champion. Spring. For an island. Play Thematic Compass. Flip Thematic Compass. Pass the turn. Land for our opponent. Still have not found a Haphazard Bombardment. Or a way to actually deal with God Pharaoh's Gift, which we don't have many of. But we're doing a good job of not dying immediately. Alright, Champion of Wits. Discards 2 lands. Goes to combat. Yep, nothing to get back. Opponent passes. Discards to hand size. So let's play Sifter Wurm. Ooh. Gift of Paradise to bottom. Do we want Hour of Promise is a big question. I think we do. Hour of Promise on top, Sifter Wurm on top. Gain 7, play Oasis, pass the turn. Our opponent has had a God Pharaoh's Gift for an ungodly number of turns, and we're somehow keeping up with our opponent. Deadlands. Hour of Promise gets us more deserts, so we can keep nuking the graveyard. Alright, opponent casts a Archfiend of Ifnir. Goes to combat. Well, sack Oasis, nuke the graveyards. Ugh. Cycles an Archfiend. Okay. Goes back in Archfiend. Goes to combat. Attacks. Well, let's block Champion of Wits token. Opponent cycles. Well, untap Archfiend. Yep. So they trade. Opponent passes. So that's Hour of Devastation. Pass the turn. Land for our opponent. Opponent's down to 20 cards. That is not a high number. Gate to the Afterlife. Goes to combat. Well, sack Oasis. Nuke the graveyards. Alright, opponent cycles. Gets back Curator. We untap Curator. What a ridiculous game this has been. Liliana. No activation. Well, that's Hour of Promise. Get Rivulet. Make some zombies. Pass the turn. Deadlands for our opponent. Cast the God Pharaoh's Gift. Takes up Liliana. Gets a zombie and a Curator. Okay. They can get back the Curator. Yep. Ooh, cycles Horror of Broken Lands. Okay. Now we need another sweeper. We're like one sweeper away. Gets back Horror of Broken Lands. Yep. Goes attacking. So, untap Curator. Untap Curator. Chump Horror of Broken Lands. Opponent passes. Well, that's Hour of Promise. This might be enough. Wow, what a ridiculous game! We are fighting through so many God Pharaoh's Gifts. Get Oasis. Pass the turn. We are super close to milling our opponent out. Opponent goes to combat. Yep. Attacks with everything. So we will block. Untap the flyers. Vile Manifestation. Curator of Mysteries. We can mill 12? That's not quite enough. Yeah, I think we just gotta untap. Spring. Alright, play Sifter Wurm. Scry. Bottom, top. Gain 9. Pass the turn. Oh, this is so ridiculously close. Alright, there goes Sifter Wurm. Takes up Liliana. No creatures. Opponent goes to combat. Oh, I think we get the mill kill. Wow. Yup. Opponent goes attacking. We chump Horror of Broken Lands. Drop to 9. Opponent plays a land. What a ridiculous game. I guess it shows the power of this deck because... So, mill our opponent, sacking Oasis. Mill our opponent, sacking Oasis. Untap. Mill our opponent, sacking Rivulet. Pass the turn. Wow. Oh my god. Opponent had active God Pharaoh's Gift for 10 turns. They got it on turn 5. Turn 5. 10 turns of God Pharaoh's Gift. And we were able to win that game. Haphazard Ramp. That was pretty impressive for our deck, I have to say. Wow. Sifter Worms, etc. That was pretty sweet. Okay, Against this deck, what do we want? Counters seem interesting, at least. I don't know if they're great. Like, negates, they fight the God Pharaoh's gift package, but don't do much about the creatures, and our opponent can just play creatures and win. Abrades can kill some creatures, but most of their creatures have more toughness than Abrade can deal with. Sandworm Convergence is interesting. Haphazard Bombardment technically can answer a God Pharaoh's gift in its own unique way. Consign seems good as a way to just instant speed bounce God Pharaoh's gift. Maybe we go up like Commit and Sandworm Convergence and go down... do we got to go down one Haphazard Bombardment? I don't really want to, but we might just have to. Maybe we go down one Star of Extinction, one Haphazard Bombardment. Try it like that. All right, let's see if we can do that again. All right, and okay. This hand's weird, but we do have a quick Gift of Paradise, hopefully into Haphazard Bombardment. So Forest Go. We also have a million deserts. If we ever find an Aura Promise, it'll be very good. Opponent begins the cycling. Tap land for our opponent. And passes. I don't know if I've ever said this before, but we might actually have too many Sifter Wurms. Tap land for our opponent. And... that's actually really bad. We really needed this Gift of Paradise. Now I don't know if we ever cast a spell, honestly. Yep, there goes Gift of Paradise. Well, come on, more 3-mana ramp, please. Alright, Spring works. So let's Spring, grab a mountain, pass the turn. We're getting there, slowly, ever so slowly, towards playing Magic cards. Drake, oh god, that's not good. Opponent gets in with Freebooter. Well, let's Spring for an island, play Oasis, pass the turn. How do we beat a million Drakes? Champion Wits. Draws and discards, gets to make a Drake. I mean, I guess if we draw land, we can just start playing Sifter Wurms. If we don't draw land, we can Bombard. Hopefully get rid of Drakehaven. Yeah, opponent makes a Drake. We are going to need a Sweeper at some point to deal with all these Drakes and creatures. Opponent gets in, 4-1. Come on, deck. Give us a good draw. Alright, well, since we drew the land, I think we just Sifter Wurm. Go Sifting. Cut, bottom. Sandworm Convergence on top. Hour of Devastation on top. Up to 23. Pass the turn. I guess we need another red source to be able to Hour of Devastation, but I think we do need to keep it. Opponent cycles. Makes a Drake. Yep. Plays a land. Gets in with the Flyers. Sure. Down to 20. And there's Vile Manifestation as a 3-4. Well, play Sifter Wurm. Bombardment bottom. Compass top. Sandworm Convergence top. Get in with Sifter Wurm. Opponent's going to block. And block. And block. 4, 5, 6, 7. Alright, we kill all that stuff. Pass the turn. Oh, we're close to being in good shape. We're not quite there yet, but we're getting close. Opponent's also getting close to God Pharaoh's Gift. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 creatures. There's Gate to the Afterlife. Opponent goes to combat. Gets in with the Flyers. We take it. Play Haphazard Bombardment. Alright, let's get a bit lucky. Gate to the Afterlife. Land. 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 Attack with Sifter Wurm. Come on, Gate to the Afterlife. You, land, okay. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Champion of Wits. So if our opponent has an untap land, alright, yep, they're going to be able to Gate to the Afterlife. Oh, dear. There's the land. Here comes the God Pharaoh's Gift. And now we are probably dead. Yep, God Pharaoh's Gift has a million Vile Manifestations that we can't deal with. Takes a 4-4 Freebooter. We are not drawing a land next turn. We're drawing non-lands. The Maze of Ith flip thing. Opponent Takes Sandworm Convergence. Gets in for roughly $1 million. Down to 18. Play Thematic Compass. Search out a land. Get a mountain. Play a mountain. Pass the turn. I think this might just be too little too late, though. We bombard a land, but our opponent already has their God Pharaoh's Gift. Yeah, not feeling great. Another Champion of Wits. Like, even if we sweep the board, I'm not sure that's enough for us to win the game. Discards some stuff, gets an Archfiend. Makes a Drake. Yup. Gets back something for free. Vile Manifestation. Attacks with everything. Well, we got to trade, unfortunately. Drop to 9. Opponent passes. Well, all we can really do is Hour of Devastation. Sweep the board. Play Thematic Compass. Pass the turn. Flip Compass. Gonna need to find some graveyard hate pronto. Ugh, another freebooter. So many freeboots. Takes Sandworm Convergence. Goes to combat. Gets back Striped Riverwinder. Gets in for 4. Yep. Cannot untap that. Opponent passes. Ew. Well, let's Sifter Wurm. Bottom, top. Up to 14. 1 card in hand. Alright, let's just consign God Pharaoh's Gift. Pass the turn. We might be stabilizing. Opponent cycles. Makes a Drake. We're still going to need a sweeper. Now if we can find a sweeper, we're right back in this game. Land. Opponent. Gets in for 1 in the air. Are we going to... Maybe this deck is just good. Spring. So let's Gift of Paradise. Gain some life. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, let's go attacking. Opponent takes it. Pass the turn. What do you got, opponent? Liliana. Alright. Some repeatable value. Opponent goes to combat. Gets in with everything. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Well, untap. Untap. Take 4. If we draw a sweeper here, I think we just win. Well, it's got to be Hour Devastation so our worm doesn't die, but... Reanimates Vile Manifestation. Alright, let's draw 2. Hour Devastation? Hour of Promise isn't the worst. Haphazard Bombardment. Okay. Well, let's attack with the worm. At our opponent. Opponent blocks. And blocks. Yep. Play Oasis. Play Haphazard Bombardment. Liliana. Freebooter. Land. Play Hour of Promise. Get Scavenger Grounds and Arch of Vraska. Do some bombarding. Hit a land. Ooh, freebooter. Okay. Well, now our opponent needs a freebooter, or we get to Sandworm Convergence, which would be a pretty big game. Takes up Liliana. Mills. Gets a zombie. I think we might be winning this. I don't know how, but I think we are. Opponent goes attacking. Well, let's double block with our zombies. If our opponent blows us out, they blow us out. Alright. So Riverwinder done. Opponent passes. Play Memorial to War. Play Sandworm Convergence. Actually, we're tapping really wrong. We might spring too. Alright. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Sandworm Convergence. Spring. Get an island. Pass the turn. Do some bombarding. And get a Sandworm token. Hopefully we get this Liliana. Alright, there's Liliana. There's a land. There's a worm. Pass the turn. And now I think we're just in really good shape to win this game. Post scoops it up. Haphazard Bombardment. The deck looks so janky, but it works so well. Oh my goodness. Yeah? What could you say? Sandworm Convergence, Haphazard Bombardment, ramp. Whew, sweet. Alright. Budget magic time. playing some Haphazard ramp, land destruction ramp in Standard. And hopefully we're up against a creature deck where Hour of Devastation's good. So the plan with this hand, turn 3 ramp, turn 4 Hour of Devastation, turn 5 draw 2. I mean, depending on what we draw. Hopefully we find a Haphazard Bombardment, which we did. Well, now we have turn 3 ramp, turn 4 sweep the board, turn 5 start blowing up lands. Or other things if we have to. Oh, it's control. The basic plans get... Oh. If I'm saying words wrong, like plans instead of planes, forgive me. I'm still super tired from GP Vegas. I got home at 3 a.m. yesterday. So I'm feeling a little better today. A little more awake, but I'm still sleeping off the week at Vegas and the day of flying with delayed flights, etc., etc. This has got to be control, right? Like blue-white cycling? There's not a mono-white deck like this, is there? We have not seen it. All right. It's either a mana-screwed blue-white deck or I don't even know. I don't know anymore. Let's just ramp. We're doing this no matter what. Get a mountain, so we have our mana. Now our mana is pretty good. And next turn we can Thematic Compass rather than opponents discarding the hand size. Okay, they are the mana-screwed blue-white deck. Well, let's Gift of Paradise, our island, gain some life, Thematic Compass. This is a situation where Haphazard Bombardment, if it resolves, is going to be insanely good. There's a Drake Haven. Whew, come on. Come on, Bombardment. Give us the Drake Haven first, please. Play Memorial, Haphazard Bombardment. Ah! Scoops it up. Scoops it up. Cannot beat the Haphazard Bombardment. Well, our deck is pretty good at punishing people who miss their land drops. Bring in Negate, bring in Negate, bring in Negate, bring in Negate, bring in Unwind, bring in Carnage Tyrant, and maybe Commit to Memory. Go down 2 Starve Extinctions, go down Cut to Ribbons. Struggle does shuffle the graveyard, which is relevant against the cycling deck. Maybe like 1 Thematic Compass, a Sifter Wurm, and a couple Hour of Devastations. Man, what a mess. All right, try it like that. Woo, we'll see. We'll see. Okay. This hand's not super exciting, but it's fine. We have turn 2 Thematic Compass to smooth out our lands. Island for our opponent. No mana screw troubles here. Well, Memorial, go. Opponent. Plains. And passes. I'll play Oasis. Play Thematic Compass. Pass the turn. The cycling begins. We would not mind hitting an untap land so we can search with Compass next turn. That would be helpful. Also would not mind dodging a Drake Haven. Rivulet for our opponent. Alright, no Drake Haven yet. I'll play Memorial, unfortunately. Pass the turn. Well, this is going slightly slower than we hoped. We would like to have this commit up in time for Teferi, but unless we just draw a blue source, not looking great. Opponent cycles. We do have a lot of powerful things in our hand, which is good. Plains for our opponent. Come on, untap blue source. Well, not the way we were hoping to do this, but grab an island, play the island, pass the turn. Now our opponent can resolve Teferi, and we can't really do anything about it. Opponent cycles. Come on, no Teferis, no Teferis. One time. Opponent cycles. Land. Ooh, passes? Okay. That's good. Now I guess we gotta pass, unfortunately. Discard, cut to ribbons. Opponent's going to cast out our Thematic Compass. Oh, this is such bad news. Alright. Not happy about this, but we really need our land drops. Plains for our opponent. Well, let's commit the cast out. Opponent counters. Oh my goodness. Not hitting lands. Alright. Pass the turn. We are a 26 land deck. Opponent draws 2. Yeah, we're pretty close to just getting locked out of this game. There's Teferi. And this is where life gets miserably hard. I mean, we can bounce Teferi, but our opponent's going to have mana up to counter. Yup. Opponent gets to untap. We need a miracle. We needed a land somehow, which shouldn't be hard, but then we need a spell to resolve, which is going to be the hard part. Well, there's a tap land. Oh, deck. Deck! Yeah. Pass the turn. Opponent cycles, gain some life. Now I guess we just play the cast our stuff into counter spells and be sad game. Teferi again. Draws a card. Opponent passes. Untap some lands. Yep. Play Compass. Search up a land. Man, we are doing this the hardest possible way. Alright, land go. Opponent, another cast out. Untaps. Draws with Teferi. Plays a land. Untaps 2 of our lands. Thank you, opponent. I guess they can tap in response. Yep. They're going to draw. Alright. Well, that's fine. They got to discard the hand size. I guess we can just play a Carnage Tyrant. I'll play Rivulet. Play Carnage Tyrant. This is a potential way we can kill Teferi if our opponent has nothing. Opponent's just drawn so many cards. They've drawn 9 more cards than us. But if they took out all their answers to Carnage Tyrant, like Settle the Wreckage, then we could steal this win. Even with how rough the start was. Opponent's really thinking over Carnage Tyrant. Alright, resolves. So, ship the turn. Cross our fingers that Carnage Tyrant is not answered somehow. Also, eventually, our opponent's going to find Drakehaven, and that's going to be bad. Opponent cycles. Untaps. There's the Drakehaven. Ugh. Untaps, draws a card. Cycles, makes a Drake. Sarcophagus. Okay. Untaps. Ooh, consign. Alright, let's attack Teferi. Bounce the Drake. Kill Teferi. And I guess we just gotta pass. The Sarcophagus means our opponent has a million sensors in the graveyard. Opponent makes a Drake. They probably have another Teferi as well. I mean, they've drawn more than half of their deck already. Opponent. Getting frisky with the Drake. Okay. Going aggro. And passes. Well, get in with Carnage Tyrant. Hit our opponent. Opponent takes it. Play Oasis. Play Hour of Promise. Opponent's got the negate. Alright, pass the turn. Opponent cycles, makes a Drake. The Carnage Tyrant was good, but I don't think it's going to be good enough. Draws 2. Untaps. Sorcerous Spyglass, probably going to name Rivulet, I assume. Ended up being a pretty close game. Also, our opponent gets to see our hand, which is not ideal. Seems like one of our tougher matchups, especially since we only have 1 Carnage Tyrant. Opponent. Another Teferi. Oh, named Spires. Opponent is not afraid of being milled out, apparently. Attacks. Attacks. Okay. Hits us down to 13. Untaps. Alright, we draw. Our opponent discards. To make another Drake. Jeez. Yep, makes a Drake. So we attack Teferi. Opponent takes it. Play Hour of Promise. Opponent has a counter. Play Memorial. Pass the turn. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. Looking pretty bad. Opponent's just drawn way too many cards. Gets in. 4-6. So, all we can really do is try to Hour of Devastation. Expect that it won't work, and then scoop. So, attack with Carnage Tyrant. Actually, let's play Sifter Wurm. We're close to being able to try to mill our opponent out, but we're not quite there yet. Alright. Another counter, and we scoop it up. Yeah, it seems like a super hard matchup for us. At least we get to be on the playing game 3, which is something. Yeah, I mean, we got the negates. We did not draw a single one of our sideboard counter spells. I guess we had to commit, but we had some land trouble that game. We really just need to ramp into a quick bombardment and attack our opponent's lands. If we can start blowing up our opponent's lands, then things suddenly look better for us. Alright, we're on the play. Well, we're definitely keeping this. Lots of ramp on 3, although, unfortunately, well, we'll see. Lots of ramp on 3. Sifter Wurm is our only payoff at the moment. Rivulet for our opponent. And play Memorial. Pass the turn. Also, opponent likely has a million sensors. Cycles Illumination. Down to 19. Untaps. Plains. We'll play the Island and Spring. There's a sensor. Yup. Can't really do a thing about that. Opponent untaps. Land. And there's the Drake Haven already. Oh, that's not ideal. Not even a little ideal. Well, Gift of Paradise the Forest. Play Memorial. Pass the turn. Opponent passes. We'll play Arch Varaska. Play Thematic Compass. Spring. Grab a Forest? Yeah, Forest is fine. Pass the turn. Opponent gets to start making drakes. Yep, cycles, makes a drake. And this cycling will likely help them hit their land drops as well. Yep, there's a land. Opponent gets in with the drake. Down to 21. Ugh, turn 3 Drake Haven. So good. We'll play the mountain. I guess we just have to pass for now. Flip our Thematic Compass. Opponent cycles, makes a drake. Yep. Up to 22. Opponent goes attacking. And we might as well untap a drake. Take 2. Draw a couple cards. Well, there's an Hour of Promise. Play the Desert. Turn on City's Blessing. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So let's Hour of Promise. Get Scavenger Grounds and Rivulet. Get some zombies. And I guess we just pass for now. Opponent cycles. Makes a drake. Oh, we could really use Haphazard Bombardment. That would be our best draw. Land. Opponent. Also, a negate might not be bad. Untap a drake. Take 4. Down to 15. Opponent passes. Well, attack with our zombies. Hit our opponent. Play Rootbound Crag. Play Sifter Wurm. Resolves. That's pretty good for us. Bottom. I guess we top Hour of Devastation. It does gain us life. Pass the turn. Opponent cycles. Makes a drake. Yep. That is a lot of drakes. Oh no, another one? Cycles makes a drake. Okay. That's 10 power in the air. Land for our opponent. Well, we're going to take 10, unfortunately. Down to 10. Well, let's draw 2. Land an Hour of Devastation. Ooh, consign. Well, go to combat. Attack. Opponent takes it to 7. Play Sulphur Falls. Play Hour of Devastation. Pass the turn. No drakes. Oh, opponent's got to answer Sifter Wurm. Fumigates our Sifter Wurm. Well, let's consign Sifter Wurm. Fumigate does nothing. Opponent passes. Oh man, we might be doing it. Sifter Wurm might be coming through. Draw a card. Opponent scoops it up. We got there. We got there, Sifter Wurm. In what feels like a super hard matchup with no Haphazard Bombardments, we will take it. Whoo, sweet. All right, budget magic time. Playing some Haphazard Ramp in Standard, and we got Ramp, we got Haphazard Bombardment. Could work. How do we want to do this? Let's just mount and go. So we can ramp into our Haphazard Bombardment pretty quickly. Glacial Fortress. Oh boy. Esper Control. Mono counters. And let's play Thematic Compass. So if we can resolve Haphazard Bombardments, it's going to be pretty sweet, because we can just blow up lands until our opponent scoops in frustration. At least that's the plan. Let's play Oasis. Gift of Paradise our mountain. We don't have a way to stop Teferi at the moment, which is less than ideal, but gain some life. So we're 2 turns away from Haphazard Bombardment Part 1. Pass the turn. And we can start searching up lands with this thematic compass. Island for our opponent. And passes. We'll play Rivulet. Pass the turn. Opponent untaps. Ooh, no land? Alright. Well, let's search out a land. Grab an island. The question's going to be, do we just slam a bombardment into the face of potential counters? I think we do. I mean, if they got it, they got it. They got 7 cards in hand. Let's pass. Let's pass. I mean, we do get to just keep searching out lands, which is a form of card advantage. And eventually we're going to have enough mana we can do 2 things in a turn. All right, there's the Glimmer. Maybe that's the reason we should have cast it, to keep our opponent from glimmering. Would love to just find our Memorial Tour. That would actually be absurdly good here. Isolated Chapel. Search for Azcanta. Well, let's compass out a land. Grab a forest. Do we want to bounce Azcanta? All right, untap. More bombardments. Play the forest. Let's pass. Yeah, let's pass. Keep tutoring out lands. Cycles, farmland. Alright, search for Azcanta. Opponent. Are they leaving it on top? Opponent's really thinking about it. Mills a Glimmer, plays a land. Alright, let's search up a land. Grab a forest. Bounce Azcanta. Opponent lets it go. Has to discard a hand size. More lands. Well, play Oasis. Play Haphazard Bombardment. Alright, opponent does have a counter. Pass the turn. Flip Compass. Field of Ruin. Opponent passes. I'll play Sulphur Falls. Play Sifter Wurm. More counters. Yeah, so many counters. And we don't really have a way to stop the counters at the moment. We have some in our sideboard, but opponent untaps. Search for Azcanta is back. Opponent passes. Ooh, there's Memorial. Well, play Bombardment. We can pay for Syncopate. Alright, we will pay for your Syncopate. Get a Bombardment. Go after all the blue lands. Play Memorial. Pass the turn. Opponent is going to flip Search for Azcanta, but then we can blow up Search for Azcanta. So, land 1 down. Basic island. Opponent gets to flip Search. Yup. So let's think about this. Play an island. Play Haphazard Bombardment. Alright, opponent has a Syncopate. Blow up Azcanta. Pass the turn. Blow up a land. Teferi would still be pretty bad for us here. Opponent. Passing. Ooh, another Memorial. Well, let's spring. Search for a land. Grab a forest. Play Memorial. Pass the turn. Blow up a land. Alright, opponent has Torrential Gearhulk. To draw some cards. Well, we can't stop this. We can draw a couple cards, though. Sifter Wurm, Hour of Devastation. Still very worried about Teferi. That's the card that I'm most scared of here. Although, Hour of Devastation might be able to clean it up. So, blow up a land. Pass the turn. Opponent. Gonna get in with Torrential. Yep. Down to 18. Opponent passing. Rivulet. We'll play Rivulet. Play Sifter Wurm. So many torrentials. Maybe we should have blown up a land first. Well, Oblivion our opponent. And I guess we just pass. It's not looking great here. Endless counters are really obnoxious. Search for his Kanta, returns. Opponent goes attacking. Well, untap Torrential. Yep. Down to 13. Alright, let's cut Torrential. Hour of Devastation. Not an efficient way to try to do this. Kill a Torrential. Play a Forest. And pass the turn. Opponent, another Glimmer. Bottom top. Search for his Kanta. Mills. Flips. Interesting. Well, blow up his Kanta. Opponent's trying to decide if they're going to activate. Oh, they disallow. Wow. Okay. Well, hopefully we get a good draw here. Grab a... It really doesn't matter. Mountain. Take our beads from Torrential. Down to 8. Ooh, struggle kills. That's interesting. So let's kill Torrential Gearhulk. Play Hour of Promise. Get a Memorial to War and Arch of Araska. Get some zombies. Do we want to shuffle graveyards? I think the answer is no. Pass the turn. Opponent. Passing. Well, go attacking. Hit our opponent. Are we going to win this? Opponent takes it. Blow up his Kanta. Holy disallows. Hour of Promise. Oh my god! Alright, pass the turn. That is a lot of disallows. Opponent plays a land. And passes. Well, attack with our zombies. Hit our opponent. Play a land. I mean, I think we go for it. Yeah, I mean, ribbons for 12. Come on. Whiff. 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 To vary. Okay. No counter. No counter. Oh my goodness. Wow. Well, I guess we should have went further. I guess maybe that's just a punt on our part for not going all the way to fairy. Land. Yeah, I guess that's a punt. Draws a card. Opponent passes. Ugh. Untaps. Well, I mean, attack our opponent. Make them have an answer. Oh, man. We should have went all the way. Another Vraska's Contempt. Gift of Paradise, our Forest. Draw a card. Play Sifter Wurm. Bottom, Sifter Wurm on top, up to 17. We might just be milling our opponent out, actually. That might be the most likely outcome to this. Opponent plays a land. Cycles farmland. Sifter Wurm into the deck. Opponent passes. So we draw Sifter Wurm. Play Sifter Wurm. Opponent goes digging with his Kanta. Finds an Essence Scatter. Yep. Essence Scatters. Alright, pass the turn. Opponent draws a card. Plays a land. Kanta. Finds a Glimmer of Genius. Opponent. I think we still have a chance here. Opponent's passing. We're also staying ahead in time, just barely. Alright, opponent gets to untap 2 lands. Yep. Well, let's draw a card. Spring. Actually, let's spring first. So cast Spring. Get a forest. Sifter Wurm. Opponent goes digging with this Kanta. Finds a cast down. So they can kill our Sifter Wurm. So resolves. Bottom. Bottom. Actually, bottom, top. Top. Draw a card. Play Scavenger Ground. Pass the turn. There goes Sifter Wurm. Yup. Alright, well, we are on the mill our opponent out plan. That's where we're at. Scavenger Ground helps, because it gives us protection from our opponent having Commit to Memory, which is a very possible one-of in their deck. Opponent main phases Torrential Gearhulk. 4 Glimmer. I don't think our opponent can kill us before we mill them out. Glimmers. Tap land. Opponent passing. Untaps a couple of lands. Yep. Hour of Devastation. Not super helpful. So we will just pass the turn. Opponent untaps. Gets in. Can our opponent somehow not get milled out? That's the question. Yep. Down to 12. Draws a card. Activates Escanta. Finds a Disallow. Untaps. So let's Rivulet. Sack Oasis. Opponent has Torrential Gearhulk. Okay. For Disallow. Alright, so we'll let that go. Draw 2. And now we Rivulet. Sack Oasis. Opponent lets it go. Draw a card. Rivulet. Sack Oasis. Rivulet. Sack Rivulet. Opponent disallows. Which is fine. Now we Starve Extinction, blow up his Kanta, sweep the board. And that should do it. Now I don't think our opponent can kill us. They only have 2 cards left in their deck. Opponent's passing. Play Rootbound Crag. Pass the turn. 1 card in their deck. Field of Ruin for our opponent. Draw a card. Untap. Play Rivulet. Rivulet. Sack Rivulet. Pass the turn. And we got there. We got there. We are ahead in time by 2 seconds. Got the mill kill. Woo, man. Ay, 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 ay. All right, we're doing it. We are kind of doing it. Sort of. Ish. Relatively. All right. Against control, Carnage Tyrant, Commit to Memory, Unwind, Negates. Go down Hour of Devastations. Go down 1 cut. Go down... We definitely got to play fast. Oh, man, we should have went for more with that cut. That is for sure. Go down 1 Starve Extinction and 1 Consign to Dream. Try it like that. All right, got to play fast. Stay ahead on time. Okay, this hand's good. We'll keep it. Tap land for our opponent. Well, Memorial, go. Opponent. Glacial Fortress, passes. Oh, play Oasis, play Thematic Compass, pass the turn. All right, opponent starts the countering, syncopates. Most important thing is staying ahead in time. So play Forest, play Spring, grab an island, pass the turn. Tap land for our opponent. Oh, play a mountain, pass the turn. Wouldn't mind another blue source so we can flash back this eventually. Now let's negate to Fairy. Opponent passes. Spring. Grab our second island. Play Oasis. Pass the turn. Oh boy, we're not far ahead in time. Land for our opponent. And passes. Alright, pass the turn. What does our opponent have? Oh, this could be close. This is going to be super close. Mostly because of the clock. I don't think we're in bad shape, but I'm a little worried about timing out. Opponent's passing. Well, let's draw a couple cards. Wow, opponent's going to Field of Ruin. Okay. Scared of the Memorial. I guess Memorial has been pretty good. Grab a mountain. Draw 2. Play Hinterland Harbor. Spring. Grab a forest. Pass the turn. Eventually, we're going to need to get these cuts into our graveyard somehow. Land for our opponent. Teferi. Well, let's commit Teferi. Opponent passes. Play Sulphur Falls. Play Gift of Paradise on our forest. Gain some life. Pass the turn. Land for our opponent. Well, draw a couple cards. We're not far ahead in time. Not far enough to feel comfortable. Ooh, Hour of Promise is not bad. Gift of Paradise. Play Rivulet. Play Hour of Promise. Opponent disallows. Mill our opponent. Sack Oasis. Oh, another disallow. All right, pass the turn. That is a lot of disallows. More than we were hoping for. And now we're behind on time. And our opponent gets a Teferi. Ugh. All right. Consign Teferi. Opponent does get to draw and untap. Plays a land. Yep. Untaps 2 lands. Play Bombardment. All right, Torrential Gearhulk. That's actually okay, though, because now we get to consign to get rid of Teferi, and then we'll deal with this Torrential Gearhulk. We're going to have our opponent completely empty-handed, which might be enough to win this game. So consign, opponent discards 2, including that super obnoxious Teferi, and now we hope they don't top deck. See ya, Teferi. And a Torrential. Woo! Those were 2 good cards to discard. Hopefully our opponent does not top deck here. Opponent gets in with Torrential. Yep. Down to 18. We draw Gift of Paradise. So, step 1, Gift of Paradise, our mountain. Gain some life. Step 2, cut Torrential. Cut Torrential. Yeah, I mean, I guess we're tapping out. Play Gift of Paradise. Pass the turn. Come on. No big draws. No big draws. Land for our opponent. And passes. We draw Oasis. Well, let's ribbons. Hopefully there's no counters. Ribbons for 11. Pass the turn. We got 1 more in our graveyard. No counters. No counters. No counters. Plays a land. 1 card in hand. 1 card in hand. Is it a counter? We draw Sifter Wurm. Well, I mean, we're running it back, hoping that they didn't draw a counter. For the win? With Haphazard Ramp? All right. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Yeah? 9? Did you draw a counter? Glimmers, desperately looking for a counter. Come on, no counter. No counter. No, oh, leaves 1 on top. That means it's a counter. Finds a Syncopate. Yep, play Oasis, pass the turn. Can we not time out? That's the biggest question. We're behind on time now. What did our opponent draw? Plays a land. Play Sifter Wurm. Opponent kept another Glimmer, looking for another counter. 1 on top, almost assuredly a counter. It's an Essence Scatter. Pass the turn. Man, we have been so close. Well, draw 2. Oh, come on. No timing out. No timing out. Star of Extinction. Well, let's spring. Oh, no. Oh, no. We're going to time out. We're mistapping. Oh, dear. Oh, dear. Spring. Get a forest. Play Rootbound Crag. Draw 2. 3 minutes on our clock. Oh, that's a good one. That is a good one. Carnage Tyrant? Oh, no. Are we mistapping again? Oh, my God. Oh, come on, Carnage Tyrant. It's all up to you. Carnage Tyrant. Pass the turn. Oh, my God. Oh, my God. What do you got, opponent? Untaps. Passes. Go to combat. Get in with Carnage Tyrant. Hit our opponent to 2. Play Hour of Promise. We can pay for this, I believe. Hour of Promise. Resolves. Grab Scavenger Grounds and Arch of Vraska. Get some zombies. Play Sulphur Falls. Pass the turn. What do you got, opponent? Are we getting there? Haphazard Ramp against Esper? Land. Scoop time? Is it scoop time? Carnage Tyrant? What a long game. Oh, man. Oh, my goodness. What a crazy game. Haphazard Ram taking down Esper Control. And we got there. Woo! Sweet, 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 sweet. This deck is working. It's working. Oh, my God. Oh, boy. Whew. Well, Haphazard Ramp. What can I say? It's beating everything. All right, budget magic time. Playing some Haphazard / land destruction ramp in standard, and we'll try this. I think it's fine-ish. We don't have any ramp, which is a little scary, and we have a lot of expensive cards, but we do have some early game stuff, especially if we can fix our mana, so let's just mountain go. So I think what we want most is one of our 3-mana ramp spells. Just hitting lands isn't the worst either. We would rather not draw more expensive stuff. Island for our opponent. Artificer's Assistant. Okay. Huh. Favorable winds of some kind, I would guess. Well, that's a 3-mana ramp spell. Rootbound Craig, go. I don't think we want to just kill this. Maybe that's wrong. It's hard to know without knowing more about what our opponent's playing. Opponent gets in 4-1 with the assistant. Opponent also mulliganed a bit, which is probably another reason to hold on to this for a better target. Oasis, let's just Gift of Paradise our mountain. Gain a bit of life. And pass the turn. Man, Haphazard Bombardment would be pretty good in this game. Even just Memorial of War to blow up our opponent's only land would be sweet. Thankfully, we do have blue mana now, so we can consign at some point. All right, opponent finds island number 2. Curious Obsession. Well, now we're going to have to kill Artificer's Assistant. Can't let them keep drawing cards. Getting out of this mulligan. Yep. Opponent draws, hits us for 2, and passes. We'll play Rivulet. Let's just cut. Oops. Tap properly and cut Artificer's Assistant. And pass the turn. Island for our opponent. Ugh, there's Tempest Jin. Well, now I kind of wish we had consigned. I guess we can just Hour of Devastation. Another consign. Well, I mean, we're not doing anything else. So let's just kill Tempest Jin. Pass the turn. Using Hour as a 1-for-1 feels kind of bad, but I think we win the late game. So I think it's worth just, especially since our opponent mulliganed. All right, there's favorable wins. Opponent passes. I think we mostly just want to hit lands and ramp. Hour of Promise, maybe? All right, Rootbound Craig, go. So now we probably will consign something. Consign something so we can Oblivion next turn if we don't draw anything or another land. Tempest Jin, definitely worth consigning. So wait till the end of our opponent's turn. Bounce Tempest Jin. Ooh, we do draw land. All right, well, in that case, let's just get Sifter Wurm. Gain some life. Get a massive worm. Should be good against our opponent's deck. I'm assuming most of their removal is bounce-based, which probably means they're going to have a hard time beating a Sifter Wurm. So Sifter Wurm resolves. Ooh, that's Haphazard Bombardment. All right. So bottom... Actually, let's gain 9. Let's go Haphazard Bombardment and also Spring to Mind. Gain 9 up to 30. Pass the turn. Opponent. Ooh, they have Deep Freeze. Okay, that's a good one. Opponent passes. Well, make our opponent discard 2. We don't want to spring this turn because we actually do want to draw Haphazard Bombardment. Ooh, 2 counter spells. All right. Well, glad we're not playing into those. Land for our opponent. Tempest Jin is back. Oh, this turn's going to be brutal. So let's bounce Tempest Jin. Opponent spell pierces. Okay. Well, Starve Extinction, blow up a land, kill Tempest Jin. Also our Sifter Wurm, but that's fine. Pass the turn. Now next turn we can potentially just bombard all of our opponent's permanents. Opponent passes. Ooh, another Sifter Wurm. Our opponent's got 2 cards in hand. Let's just Oblivion again, I think. Make our opponent discard their last 2. Curious Obsession, Lookout's Dispersal. Huh. Seems like it would have been worth countering that. Land for our opponent. Now, oh man, and a memorial. Now we're just going to Haphazard Bombardment, and we're pretty close to putting our opponent to 0 lands here over the course of a couple turns. So we're going to leave the favorable winds, hit every single one of our opponent's lands, hopefully put them down to 0 lands with the help of this memorial door. Opponent's reading Haphazard Bombardment. Probably never seen it before. Oh man, this deck. Resolves. So choose all the islands. Yep. And pass the turn. Blow up an island. Put our opponent back down to 3 lands. Unfortunately, we've already used 2 consigns. So we don't have many spells left to bounce Haphazard Bombardment back to our hand. Opponent scoops it up. Haphazard Bombardment scoops it up at 20 life. We did not damage our opponent a single time. That was pretty good. Pretty good. Sandworm Convergence seems absurd against our opponent's deck. Like, literally unbeatable for our opponent's deck. So we'll bring that in. Maybe some more early game removal. What are we going down? That is the bigger question. What do we not want? Most of our main deck cards are already good in this matchup. Maybe Consign is a little less good. Star of Extinction is pretty expensive. Maybe we just like Shivan Fire? Oh, we already have a decent amount of removal though. The curve is not as bad as it looks because a lot of these Aftermath cards are much cheaper than they technically are by their converted mana cost. Maybe we just keep it like this. Just bring in Sandworm Convergence. I could see like Shivan Fires, Abrades. Maybe that's correct. But I'm not sure what we go down. I don't want to cut Haphazard Bombardment because it's so sweet. Yeah. Maybe go down. Can we go down 1? We could go down 1 Sifter Wurm. Let's go down 1 Sifter Wurm for an Abrade. And try it like that. Good enough. Okay. That sounds fine. No ramp, but it's fine. Island for our opponent. We got removal, and we have lots of ramp in our deck. Ugh. Starve Extinction. That's a bit on the expensive side. just a smidge. Island for our opponent. And there's favorable winds. Man, Tempest Djinn is actually legitimately scary here. Would make it dodge, cut to... Oh, no. Hour of Devastation. Okay, come on, no Tempest Djinn. We got no answers. Now that favorable winds is down. Island. Storm Fleet Aerialist. Yup. I'll play the island. Kill Aerialist. See if our opponent counters. Alright, there's a Spell Pierce. Well, eventually, hopefully, this Hour of Devastation is going to be good. Island for our opponent. Gets in. 4-2. Down to 18. There's the Tempest Djinn. Opponent passes. We really need a red source, preferably of the untapped variety. That Tempest Djinn is a super fast clock. Island. Even faster. Opponent. Goes attacking. Yeah, I mean, we gotta bounce it. We gotta bounce it and hope we draw a red source and Hour of Devastation resolves. Yikes. Okay. Untapped red source, please. Please, deck. One time. One time. Alright. Opponent's out of cards. 6. Oh, it's green. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. That's lethal. Alright. Well, that's why we really want a ramp spell. Man, we were a red source away from just taking over that game. Tempest Djinn is a very powerful Magic the Gathering card. Let's go down to Star of Extinction for a Shivan Fire. Try it like that. Opponent has a lot of protection in their deck. Alright, we are on the play. Alright, we'll keep it. Our ramp isn't until 5. So early game ramp would be good, although we do have a cut to ribbons. So Memorial, go. Opponent, Island, and Siren Storm Tamer. I'll play the Forest, and yeah, let's just kill the threat. Kill the Storm Tamer. Pass the turn. So we need lands most desperately to get to these Hour of Promises on time. That's what we need more than anything. Land for our opponent. And passes. Alright. Rivulet go. I guess another cut to ribbons isn't horrible. Hopefully our opponent just plays Tempestion or Kite Marauder. Come on, land. Come on, land. Land, land, land. Alright, that's a forest. So, kill Marauder. If our opponent wants to use Dive Down, sure. Alright. Keeping the flyers off the board. Not letting our opponent raid a Storm Tamer. And now we're one land away from starting to cast these Hour Promises. There's Tempestion. Well, let's bounce it. Untap. Land? It's a land. Alright, so now we get to Hour Promise, which is pretty key. Come on, no Spell Pierce. Get... we need 2 deserts. Rivulet, and... I don't know if Scavenger Grounds actually does anything. Yeah, let's just Rivulet. That's fine. Get some zombies. Pass the turn. Opponent. Island. Replays Tempestion. And passes. Well, let's Sifter Wurm. Hopefully gain a nice chunk of life here. Bottom. Oh man, all lands. Bottom. Ooh, top card is Hour of Devastation. That's not the worst. Island for our opponent. Gets in for 6. Sure. Yep. Down to 18. And passes. Well, go to combat. Attack with everything. Hit our opponent to 9. Hour of Promise. Opponent counters. Alright, pass the turn. We are winning the race at the moment. Favorable wins. Opponent passes. Ooh, Compass is sweet. So let's just Hour of Devastation. Opponent counters. Go to combat. Attack. I'm assuming our opponent just has to trade with Sifter Wurm. Yeah. Still pretty impressive that our opponent's 3-drop is trading with our 7-drop. Oh my god, it stays alive. Well, opponent's out of cards, down to 5, and now we have Thematic Compass. So we're not going to just die to this Tempestion. And in theory, we have the better late game. Could use a Gift of Paradise to flash back these black cards. If we ever get to cast a Ribbons, we win. Well, resolve a Ribbons. If we ever get to resolve a Ribbons, we win. Opponent. No attack. Now let's spring. Grab a non-painful island. And I think we just pass. I feel like we're in pretty good shape now. Haphazard Bombardment could be good. Get to start drawing extra cards. Curious Obsession. Not super great in the face of Spires. Opponent. Attacks. Untap. Opponent passes. Ooh. Woo. Haphazard Bombardment, eh? Well, let's bombard. And we will go Tempestion, Island. Man, come on! Come on, random dice rolls. Give us a Tempestion, please. I mean, blowing up an island is fine, but blowing up Tempestion would be so sweet. Yes? Please? Please? Alright, well, we kill an island. That's fine. Increases our chances of hitting Tempestion next turn. Favorable wins, making... I guess it's also shrinking the Tempestion, hilariously. Combo. It's a combo. Opponent's got to attack, because if they don't, they lose Curious Obsession. But we do get to Spires the Tempestion. So we're not actually taking damage from it. Oh my god, their last card was Dive Down. Oh my goodness, opponent. You gotta be kidding me. Alright. So they get in for 8 and get to draw a card. Sure. And it's Artificer's Assistant. We draw Oasis. Well, let's draw 2. Play Oasis. That's pretty good. Yeah, let's just kill Assistant. So now we can attack with our zombies and hopefully just have lethal next turn. And now we're up to a 33% chance of killing this Tempestion. So hit our opponent down to 1. Haphazard Bombardment. Give us a Jin. Yes! Oh man, got him. Oh, that is so the game. It took 2 turns, but we got there. And our opponent scoops it up. Haphazard Bombardment coming through eventually. It took a minute, but we got there. Oh, sweet. All right, budget magic time. Playing some Haphazard Ramp in Standard. And we're going to keep this. We got a lot of lands in our deck. And we have
a decent ramp curve, assuming we hit lands. All right, Memorial to War. We would like to just naturally draw a desert so we can get zombies off of this Hour of Promise. Looks like we're up against mono black. Seeker Squire. Sure. Fatal Push. That's a dead card. Opponent correctly mills it. All right. Well, we have a lot of power in this hand. Forest, Goo. Arch of Araska is not super helpful here. I mean, I guess Hour of Promise is fine, even if we're not getting zombies, although it's definitely better if we can get 2 zombies out of it. Down to 18. So, hopefully we just draw a desert. Seeker Squire, part 2, gets a desert, plays the desert. Opponent passes. Well, play Hinterland Harbor, play Gift of Paradise. I mean, we're going to ramp next turn, even if we don't draw a desert, because then we get to Sifter Wurms. Opponent goes attacking. Yep. Back down to 8T. I think we're in pretty good shape, even without a desert. Deadlands. Opponent's got a desert. Karn? Not Karn. Walking Ballista. Walking Ballista's fine. We'll find a sweeper eventually. Come on, desert. Desert, desert, desert. Opponent passes. Desert. Another worm. All right, play Arch of Araska. Hour of Promise. Take... We got to get at least 1 desert. Maybe we just take 2. Scavenger Grounds and Oasis. So next time we only need 1 desert to turn on Hour of Promise. So we're taking a beating here, but we follow it up with Sifter Wurm, and we have the mana where if we can scry into Hour of Promise, Star of Extinction, it should be incredibly good. So opponent gets in, hits us. And I mean, we have 3 Sifter Wurms, which is a very high number of Sifter Wurms. Down to 12. Well, hopefully we're going to gain back a bunch here. Cut. I'll play the Forest. Yeah, I think we still just Sifter Wurm. So play Sifter Wurm. Go digging for a sweeper, primarily. Bottom, bottom. So this would gain us 4? Alright, we'll keep it. Up to 16. Pass the turn. Now our opponent needs to find a way to kill our Sifter Wurm. They definitely could have Vraska's Contempts. Even if they kill it, though, we're not just dead. Chupacabra. That also works. Yep. So we're taking 6. Opponent hits us. Down to 10. Something else? Ugh, Gifted Aetherborn. Alright. We might just be too slow. Another Sifter Wurm. We just haven't been able to find a sweeper. Alright, there's our Devastation. So, bottom, bottom, top. Go up to 15 and have Hour of Devastation for next turn. We just want to try to stay out of the range of dying to another Walking Ballista. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. That Walking Ballista is going to be an issue. If our Sifter Wurm survives, we're in great shape. If our Sifter Wurm dies, then we might just be dead to Walking Ballista. They can even volley it back. Well, let's see what our opponent's got. It's Vraska's Contempt. Alright, well, we will see if we survive. Opponent hits us. Down to 5. Virtual 2. 1, 2, 3. Ugh. So I think what we have to do is Hour of Devastation, sweep the board. Opponent pings us to 2. Yep. Board swept. Sacrifice Oasis. Pass the turn. So as long as our opponent just doesn't have Ballista in hand. Alright, Liliana. Mills some stuff. Well, we get to Sifter Wurm to gain back a bunch of life, hopefully. So play Sifter Wurm. Come on, something big. So we can gain 5, would struggle to survive. Bottom, bottom, top. Up to 7. Pass the turn. Makes a zombie. 2 cards in hand for our opponent. Divest. Not looking great here. 1 card in hand. Yep. Come on, no removal. No removal. They're just going to make our worm smaller. Alright, makes the worm smaller. Opponent passes. So, attack Liliana. Opponent takes it. Hour of Devastation. Pass the turn. We're staying alive. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Ugh, Bloodfast. That is annoying. That can draw our opponent a lot of cards. Opponent passes. Well, let's spring. Grab an island. Pass the turn. Opponent's going to start drawing. We've used almost all of our Sifter Wurm. Opponent draws. Yep, down to 22. That Bloodfast might just beat us. Opponent draws. Yep, down to 20. Ganti, Lord of Luxury. Gonna get to steal one of our cards, unfortunately. If our opponent goes too low on life, we can potentially cut to ribbons them out of the game. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. We're getting close to turning on Arch of Araska. Opponent passes. Compass isn't bad. So play Compass. Play Haphazard Bombardment. Land, 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 land. Yeah, just name all basics. Pass the turn. Yeah, opponent draws a card. So we get to flip our Compass. Start blowing up lands. Alright. This deck does not win quickly. We might be stabilizing, though. Opponent's going to attack with Ganti. So we untap it. Hitting the lands does make it less likely that our opponent's going to be able to win with... do they have a Walking Ballista. Alright, that's some damage. Opponent passes. We draw a Mountain. So play the Mountain. Cut the Walking Ballista. Opponent pings. Opponent pings. If they draw enough Walking Ballistas, we will lose. Opponent pings down to 4. And then blow up Memorial. Pass the turn. Blow up a land. Trying to keep our opponent off of Ballista mana. Alright. Spring was the card of ours that our opponent stole. Gets a swamp. Yep. Goes attacking. So we untap Ganti. Opponent passes. Oasis. So play Oasis. We get to blow up one more land. Alright, pass the turn. We gotta just start drawing cards, I think. Opponent's down to 4 lands. We could use a commit. If we can find a commit to bounce our Haphazard Bombardment and go after the lands again, or just another Haphazard Bombardment. Opponent draws, down to 16. Goes attacking, so untap Ganti. We might be stable now. Land. Ammon Eternal. Alright, let's draw 2. Ooh, there's Consign. That's sweet. So, struggle to kill Ammon Eternal. Untap. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Alright. Pick up our Haphazard Bombardment. Replay Haphazard Bombardment. Land, 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 land. Play another Thematic Compass. Pass the turn. Flip our Compass. Blow up a land. Yup. We're really pinching our opponent's resources. We're probably just going to start cutting to ribbons here pretty quickly to try to finish the game. Opponent draws down to 14. Goes attacking. So, untap Ganti. Opponent finds a land. Another Ammon Eternal. Oh, play Oasis. Kill Ammon Eternal. And then drain our opponent for 7. Pass the turn, blow up a land. So in theory, next turn we can just cut the Ganti ribbons for lethal. I think Haphazard Bombardment is doing it. We started off so far behind, but we found our sweeper. Haphazard Bombardment is keeping our opponent's lands under control, and I think this is going to be enough. Untap Ganti. Opponent passes. So now we just play the land, cut the Ganti, ribbons. I guess we just go all the way. We'll leave up 1 Spires. So ribbons for 8. And game? Did we get there? We got there. Whoo! Haphazard Bombardment. Overcoming a lot of card draw for our opponent. Do we even change anything? Our opponent probably brings in more discard. Our sweeper seems super good. Our ramp seems good. I don't think we change much. We could bring in like a little bit more removal if we were concerned. I don't know what we'd cut though to make it work. This might just be a good matchup, assuming we hit our sweepers. Yeah, let's just run it back. Let's run it back as is. I don't think we got to change a thing. This deck is oddly impressive. Waiting for our opponent to return. We'll be on the draw once they do. And, alright, this hand actually looks pretty good. All ramp, but that's what we want. Just ramp in the early game. Spring to Mind lets us draw cards. So this is pretty close to the ideal hand. We even got a desert, and there's a finisher. Alright, this hand's just pretty much perfect. If we could draw up an ideal hand, it would be pretty close to this. Opponent has Seeker Squire. Goes exploring. Argues Bloodfast. Mills it. Don't mind seeing that milled. We'll play Harbor. Play Thematic Compass. Not going to be doing anything for a while, but it will flip pretty quick. Jeez, another Seeker Squire. Hopefully we find a sweeper at some point. Memorial to Folly. Opponent gets in. 4-2. Yep. Down to 18. There's Memorial. Opponent passes. Ooh, there's Bombardment. Alright, well, let's spring. Grab a mountain. Pass the turn. So now we have turn 4 Hour Promise, turn 5 either Sifter Wurm or Bombardment, depending on what our opponent does. Opponent gets in. Hits us down to 15. Sure. Sifter Wurm is just such a great stabilization card. Ugh, Karn. That is a little bit annoying. Takes up Karn. Alright. They can have Eldest Reborn, I guess. Opponent passes. Play Scavenger Ground. Play Hour of Promise. Get Arch of Araska and a Rivulet. Pass the turn. Flip our Compass. Mana's looking pretty good. Takes up card. Swamp for our opponent. We would like to kill this Karn somehow, if given the option. Opponent. Yeah, we'll just untap it. Not going to try the double block here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 mana. So I guess we can, like, Bombard plus Spring, but not Sifter Wurm. Ammon Eternal for our opponent. And a Bloodfast. Alright. So let's Haphazard Bombardment. Put a counter on Ammon Eternal. Karn. Land. Play a forest. Spring. Get a second mountain in case we can draw a sweeper. Pass the turn. Blow up a swamp. Ugh. Would have been nice to hit the Karn, but we are kind of shields down-ish here, which is not super ideal. We can't use our Spires, so we might take a big hit, especially if our opponent has removal. Then we're definitely taking a pretty big hit. See what our opponent does with Karn? They might start taking down since the Haphazard Bombardment clock is on. Yeah, it takes down. I assume they just take Gonti. Oh, they take the land. Okay. Plays dead lands. The Eldest Reborn. Yep. Sack a zombie. Opponent. Gonna go attacking. Well, we're just gonna block Ammon Eternal. Get afflicted. Opponent passes. Ooh, cut is good. Each opponent discards a card. So let's... Oh, man. We don't really want to discard Sifter Wurm. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Another Haphazard Bombardment would be sweet. But maybe we just have to draw? We're at 10. Yeah, we can't discard Sifter Wurm. So I think what we want to do here is cut Seeker Squire and pass the turn. Blow up. Ooh, we got the card. Getting rid of Karn is pretty nice. So each opponent discards a card. Now we need to draw 2. So draw 2, counter on Ambit Eternal. Discard, I guess, Gift of Paradise. Opponent, gonna go attacking. So we untap Ambit Eternal, so it doesn't, we can't let the counters reset. Because it's gonna die the next spell we cast. Yep. Down to 8. Land for our opponent. Ugh. Alright, big Walking Ballista. That's fine. We can deal with that. Opponent passes. We draw Rivulet. So play Rivulet. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Opponent is going to get to Eldest Reborn. So maybe we wait on Worm. Let's play another Bombardment. Kill Ambit Eternal. Go land, 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 land. Pass the turn. Blow up 2 lands. Desert and Memorial. All right, opponent's down to 4 lands. So they ultimate their Eldest Reborn. Oh, we're so close to stabilizing. We could sack the desert, but I don't think we're going to. I think we just let our opponent reanimate. Yep, gonna get back Ambit Eternal. That's fine. Opponent. Gonna go attacking. So let's kill Walking Ballista. Opponent's gonna ping us. As long as we get a decent Sifter Wurm hit, we're in pretty good shape. Because our opponent's gonna be down to like 2 lands next turn. And then untap Seeker Squire. We just gotta gain enough that we're not in fear of dying to more Walking Ballistas. Opponent draws a card. Down to 18. Plays a land. Another Ambit Eternal. Yep. Ooh. That is a super good draw. Star of Extinction. Blow up the no counter swamp. Sweep the board. And opponent, this is what the deck's trying to do. We just locked them. They are so locked. Down to 2 lands. Good luck, opponent. Who would have thought that Haphazard Bombardment would be so insane? Yep. Opponent passes. So let's play Sifter Wurm. Goes crying. Bottom, top. Gain 9. Play another Compass, and opponent scoops it up! We got there! Haphazard Bombardment, almost a flawless victory, and this deck is beating everyone. It's so good. It's so good. Okay. Sweet. Sweet, sweet, sweet. So what do we learn this week about Haphazard Ramp in Standard? And I don't really know what to say. We played 5 matches. We won 5 matches. The perfect 5-0 with Haphazard Ramp, beating Teferis and Mono Blacks and some aggro decks, and just all around. This deck was absolutely killer. We had a game. Where our opponent got God Pharaoh's Gift with creatures in their graveyard on turn 5, had it stick for 10 turns. 10 turns of God Pharaoh's Gift. Even got a second God Pharaoh's Gift at one point, and we still won. The deck is just, it is way better than it looks looks on paper. If you look at it on paper, you're like, I don't know about this weird pile of cards. Like, sure, the ramp is good. We've seen ramp decks before, but Sifter Wurm, Haphazard Bombardment, all these weird aftermath cards. But once you start playing the deck, you're like, I don't really understand exactly why this is as powerful as it is, but it is really powerful. And one of the big takeaways is standard decks don't expect to have their lands beat up on. That's just not a thing that happens in standard. So when you're playing a deck that is intentionally about destroying your opponent's lands and tutoring up 2 Memorial of War with our promise to blow up 2 lands in Haphazard Bombardment, putting all the counters on lands, standard decks just aren't prepared for that, and they can be really punished because they're expecting they're just going to curve out, play their stuff, everything will be fine. So it's a really sneaky and unexpected strategy, and I think it picks up some free percentage points because of the sneakiness of it, and because people just don't expect to have their lands blown up. So if you're looking for something different to make and want to just blow up a bunch of lands in the standard format, I think it's worth giving a shot. I think you could definitely win a lot of games with it, and I came away with it really impressed. I don't think there's any really major upgrades that are necessary. Maybe a second Carnage Tyrant against control, or if you're looking to budgetize, a Nezahal could maybe fit in that slot, although it's probably not quite as good. But overall, for 80 bucks, 25 ticks, if you enjoy blowing up lands and sticking it to opponents, give it a shot. I don't think you'll end up disappointed. So anyway, that's been Haphazard Ramp for Standard, and that's been our Budget Magic for this week. So thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed the video, and I will talk to you soon.
Thanks for watching the video. If you enjoyed it, help us out by clicking that like button down below. And to keep up on all the latest and greatest, click that subscribe button. And don't forget to hit that bell icon to get alerts whenever we have new videos. And if you want to, check out some of our other sweet videos here and here.